Hello everyone and welcome to WOR Tier 2 here in a sunny Albert Park. As you can tell, I am your main commentator tonight, Callum G247. I got the promotion as we've got no Dark Kel tonight. However, we've got an upgrade in the co-comms department as well as we are joined by Aberystwyth's finest, WOR, Connor. Connor, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you Callum, and I'm looking forward to commentate on my first ever Tier 2 race around this circuit, which, well, it brought a lot of action in Tier 1 yesterday, so let's see what it brings today.
Yeah, definitely. Tier 2 always bringing a little bit of drama, and I think, as you mentioned, if Tier 1 gives a good race, and Tier 2 will certainly deliver. Just looking at the championship at the moment, PSR Boots is still your man in the lead, about 34 points clear of Cypher in P2 after he did not score last week in Mexico. M-Racer is kind of got back on the podium after a P2 last week, and he solidifies that P3 in the championship to find him. PSR Wecro sitting pretty nicely in P4 on the standings, considering he's only had one podium. I'm pretty sure Alpha Tauri Man will be pretty happy with that. Shizuo Optics behind him in P5, and last week's race winner Shizuo Finn sitting pretty healthily in P6.
Yeah, and just on board now with Piccolo actually. He's coming across the line to start his first flying lap of this qualifying session on the medium compounded tyres. Braking just before the 50-metre boards, going nicely through there, flat out now down the straight, we go into turn 3, braking by the board on the left, second gear up to third, a little bit of understeer there on the car, but going nicely so far. He hasn't invalidated at least, and this is very, very tricky corner. Yeah, he's just going really cautious through every single corner so far. Doesn't want to invalidate. It's important to get a lap on the board around here, to be honest. Well, that's a bit wide there, but he's got away with it just. Flat out again through the curved straight. Now through the fast chicane, 7th gear. Very, very, very cautious on the exit curve. The RS open. Making 75 metres, let's say, going wide and invalidating his run. That's not what you need, but it's on the mediums, so it won't be, well, it won't matter that much because he'll just go straight into the pits anyway, or not. He's going for another.
Oh yeah, it looks like he's going for another lap. It's interesting to see. You mentioned it there about how easy it is to invalidate around here. We've seen it, prime example with Shizuo Piccolo, and I think that's probably going to be a theme of the session. We've seen it a lot last week in Mexico. Drivers just really struggling to get a lap, and we only had a handful of drivers setting laps in the first 10 or so minutes in the session. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the same plays out again. I'll just try to see if I can find any drivers on a lap, but doesn't look like it is actually. PSR Boots, your championship leaders on the lap. So Connor, once again, do you want to take us through a lap with Albert Park with PSR Boots?
Yeah, there he just found his name. Anyway, right, as I said earlier, braking just before the 50, going nicely through there, taking quite a lot of speed in fact, opening the DRS now. He's, well, using his minimum distance, so get the shortest lap time. Going nice, that's very nice, turn 3 from him there. Turn 4, 4th gear, flat out through turn 5, very nice there. Let's see the first sector, 26.733, that's quite good. You might want to go a couple tenths quicker than that though if you want perfect sector 1. But anyway, as we go, carry on with the lap now, making it 75 metres, in the apex nicely. Good exit as well. Once again, we see Boots just going straight up to the edge of the track to minimise the distance, get a shorter lap time. Quite clever from him actually. Lovely through fast chicane, opening DRS now. As we go into very, very tricky corner, as we saw, who's it before? Piccolo, I believe, invalidated. Flat out through it, very nice from Boots. It's a good lap into on the corner, 2nd gear, hitting the apex. This corner's really easy, just traction. Open DRS, run up to the line, let's see what Boots does. Ooh, good lap. 20.8.
Yeah, really good lap there. really good out there from PSR Boots, putting him on provisional pole 4 technically, which is out to Sam Red Caterpillar as well. Just sits nicely behind him now with 20.9, so pretty close to the front as well. They'll get a few guys as well to set laps, a few people as well. On the medium compound of Sire, TTM Lutz, looks like he's just started the lap, so we'll stick on board with the Mercedes. Never mind, it's a good commentator. Torsten, he's found the wall and he's found himself out of the session.
Oh.
Look at that for a good timing. Not great there from Lutz. He's not had a great start to this season or a great season in general, and that one definitely adds to his misery.
Yeah, I wasn't on board with him there, but looking at the track map, he's crashed quite a distance down the second DRS zone, so I'm a bit confused what happened, but I guess he just lost it on the exit of turn 2, which is quite an easy thing to do in all fairness to him. And oh, he's all across the track there, as Fern goes past. That could have been quite a big accident. Turn 3. Fern. That's nice. See what else is happening.
Yeah, PSR Fern looks like he has a good laugh at the moment. Strange stuff out of the Lutz, as we mentioned. You mentioned that he tried to crash so late into the corner and he just kind of kept going, and PSR Fern is invalidated. Another one to add to the invalidation list. She's Noctix is on a lap. We'll stick on board with the McLaren as well. He's had a pretty decent season so far, has Noctix. I'm trying to see he's currently sitting 5th in the standings, so he'll be looking to add to his pretty nice points all he's already had this season coming through. The first sector he goes, he's handled this up pretty nicely so far. Has the man in the Papaya Orange coming into what is turn 6 and 7 now. Another very easy one to invalidate. We've seen PSR Fern just moments ago, but he's navigated that one slightly better than what Fern has a few moments ago. Coming through turn 8 it goes now, and at turn 9 and turn 10 it's very easy to get this one wrong. The curb on the inside takes no prisoners, and the curb on the outside it's pretty easy to invalidate that one as well. But he's done that all pretty nicely coming through the long left-hander now. Just sticking it to the left-hand side, minimising the run he has to now. Coming out at turn 11 and 12, we've seen it in real life. How unforgiving these corners could be. Slightly easier now in an F1 game, not as much speed, but he's done that pretty well as well. And purple sector 2 as well for him, so this could be a good lap here for the man currently sitting in P13 in the qualifying standings. And the last sector he goes coming through the long right-hander, very easy to wash out wide and invalidate it, but yeah, as he has did this full lap, he's kept it on the track and it's been very competitive as well. Coming into the last corner now, it's the only corner he has to navigate. And yes, he's done it very well. So coming across line, what lap time will it be for Noctix? Can he put himself on provisional pole position? And it isn't, and then it's only P5 for Noctix.
Yeah, I mean, it's very tidy. I mean, there's clearly a bit of time on the table. He was trying not to invalidate, which is, of course, what Fern did earlier on in the session, which really didn't help him. But anyway, yeah, 3 attempts off boots. It's not a bad time, to be fair. There's your banker. Well, track evolution's a massive factor around this circuit, to be fair, so I mean, expect times to go even lower than a 20.8, maybe into, I could see a 20.3 happening perhaps with boots, but anyway, yeah, let's wait and see.
Yeah, definitely. I think a massive part of it, we'll say, is just when drivers get a banging car in, they've just got a little bit more freedom to maybe go for it after it, because they know they've got a lap time to fall back on. So yeah, as you mentioned, I think the longer we go into the session, I think the times will start to fall dramatically. M-Racer's one, just going to kind of highlight here down in P7, he's not in a great session as M-Racer. I mean, the man, we kind of constantly see him up there, maybe not known for his qualifying performances though. So yeah, well, interesting to see if the Williams can pull something a bag near the inside for us well down in P9. He'll be looking to do something better than that. PSR Fern as well, I'm going to highlight as well down in P17. These 3 guys probably will be looking to get something better than what they currently have in the remaining 10 minutes of this session.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, we know that Cypher and likes of M-Racer can clearly go much quicker than that, probably by about a second and a few tenths on that as well. And oh, let's watch Waxwell on the lap actually, yeah, he's got a very good first sector, 26.625. That's impressive from Waxwell. Anyway, we'll go into the fast chicane now, turning just after the 50, very nice for him. On the controller of course, which is very disadvantaged, let's say, around this track. As we break the 75 metre board a little bit wide, washing out wide, going over the exit curb, he hasn't validated at least. And yeah, there's a bit more time there, need to push the car a bit more. Good penultimate corner on the traction now. The RS open, run up to the line, let's see what Waxo can do. I think it's put him about P3. Oh, it's pole! Wow.
Not too bad for a man who's disadvantaged in the controller, eh, Connor?
Anyway.
Very good lap there.
And 20
doesn't help it out at once.
Oh,
PSR Brute's a big moment through turn 1 as well. He doesn't look like he'll be improving too much on that one. PSR Extra, I'm actually very impressed with that, by the way. I mean, you mentioned that he's on the controller. Round Australian, as much as they give you stick with it, I'll give you, it isn't an easy place to come here on the controller. It is always notoriously known to be a bit of a wheel track, so considering PSR Extras came here on the controller and stuck it on pole, we don't normally see him up there. But Joe, a track that you expected at least, he's done it, so it's good stuff so far, but still a long way to go. We're just sticking on board with Rev Caterpillar at the moment. He was a 10th of bit up at the moment, and 10th of bit up through the first sector, and if it stayed like that, he could probably get himself into the top 2, at least coming through the middle sector. He goes coming into the left, right hander now. It's very easy to validate, very easy to muck up, nearly just under 2/10 of an improvement so far for the Alpine, but he does very well through there, gliding over those 2 cubs, and most importantly keeping it on the black stuff, and that just goes, that's what's important, to keep it valid. Coming out the final sector, he goes now 5th gear through there. Once again, keep it on the track and through the long right hander. Oh, he's really pushing through there. He's got Silas on the exit. He's got out of the way nice and low, but he's deep into the penultimate corner, and that's going to cost him time. It's such a shame for Rev Caterpillar. He's on a great lap. Scyther put P2 as well. Through his time, he's up at 20.7, and a really messy last 2 corners, and won't even be an improvement for Rev Caterpillar. Isn't enough 300th down in the end, and that's really a shame for Rev Caterpillar, because that could have been a lap good enough for Poland there.
Yeah, I mean, it is a shame. You can clearly see he's got, well, ages in that time, really. I'd say about 4/10 of a second, to be fair. And M-Racer, the WOR development driver, goes on to pole position, provisional pole position ahead of Wexfro. And you know, as we were on board with Rev Caterpillar, Cypher's actually gone up into P3, which is good for him. Good for his championship aspirations, ahead of obviously P1 driver PSR Boots, who's currently on a lap, I believe. And yeah, he's up by about half a tenth, going for sector 1. Now flat out into the turn 9 and 10 chicane, braking 75 metres. Very nice, he navigates that perfectly. And yeah, this is just something we see with Boots now. He's just minimising the distance to get the best lap time possible. Clearly he's just absolutely on the limit here. Through the fast chicane, going quite nicely for him. Gonna brake now, 75 metres. Cuts that nicely. Oh! That's not how you want to do it, is it? It's absolutely ruined the lap time. And yeah.
It's not like PSR Boots will be improving anymore with that one. I was just looking, PSR Firm was on a lap, I'm not too sure where he came out in the end. P6 it was, so not a bad lap there. Looks like he's going again as well. So interested to see if he can improve at P6 for Fern. That's kind of where we'd like to normally see him up there. Should have not to see that. No, he's not. Just trying to see if we've got anyone. Maxi G as well. It looks like he's maybe on a lap, but he's just invalidated it, so we're kind of caught everyone at the wrong time. SAV Legend, I think he's the last one that's on a lap time. There's only got 5 minutes left. Most drivers in the pit lane, gearing up and getting ready to go for our final run. But we'll stick on board with the Aston Martin driver. Braking at 75 metre board through there into 4th gear. A little bit slower through there compared to some other drivers I noticed, but through 5th gear through the right hander. Pushing pretty nicely there, and can he make the apex here? Yes, he does in the 3rd gear. So I'll give him his dues there. He's a pretty nice last sector in the end. And through the final corner he goes very nicely. DRS open. It's a fairly short run to the line. What time will it be for SAV Legends, and where will it put him? And it's pole position. There you have it. I've just slagged him off for his turn 11 or turn 13 and put it on pole position. It's fantastic stuff from SAV Legends. Brilliant. And there you have it with 4 minutes left to go. He's put that Aston Martin on provisional pole. Fantastic stuff there from the WOR development driver.
Yeah, it's great to see both WR development drivers, first and second. I mean, clearly something that the manager should look at and promote them to the main team. I mean, they can clearly showcase their skills in all these the tournaments that WR participate in, and yeah, there's no reason why they can't get some good points. And Sav Legends cutting the track, but anyway, we'll look away from that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we'll hope.
WR Cleanso's having a field day at the moment. There's 2 recruited drivers sitting 1st and 2nd, so yeah, hopefully they're doing well. However, I think 3 minutes left the clock. I'm be surprised if the 2 times are still good enough. Legends, as we kind of seen, he's pretty desperate to get around to go for another lap, so I think come the time he gets around again, he should kind of be able to go in and try and beat his old lap time. But I think we'll still got to see better times from people like Boots down in P8 now, Fern, Cypher as well in P4. So yeah, I think there's still a lot to come from drivers kind of in and around this top 10. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. 3 minutes left on the clock, and I'm assuming the drivers will start to be coming out now.
Yeah, definitely. They'll want to be coming out about now actually, so they can get some space on the track. And Scythe is actually starting his lap a bit twitchy through the first and second corners. Looking in DRS now, and run down to turn 3, braking just before the well, after 100 metre board I should say. Going through turn 4 now. Very nice and flat out now. It's barely a corner in these new F1 cars, of course. Before, with lower downforce, it would have been a different story. Very twitchy again. Very scrappy lap from Cypher. Now braking into the chicane. Taking way too much speed, and I think he's backed out. Yeah, he's backed out of his lap.
Nah, it's unfortunate stuff there for Scythe. It looked like he's on a decent lap, as you mentioned, very twitchy at numerous points throughout that lap. With Caterpillar seeing a lap, looks like he is. So we'll stick on with Alpine currently sitting in P9. We've seen him earlier on in this session. He was looking really quick, wasn't he? Nearly on for that pole position, and he kind of just balled it in a sense at the final 2 corners. So he's got a second chance to avenge himself here, just under 10th up in the first sector, and really nice through turn 7. I think that is there. So looking good for the man in the Alpine coming into turn 9 and saying this is now. Mentioned it before, that inside curb is pretty brutal, you don't want to touch it too much, and he's did that very nicely, using all the track on the exit as well. And coming out into turn 11 and 12 he goes, he's got VSR fresh on the inside, he won't put him off too much, and he's now going to throw this Alpine through here, use as much track as he can, and just make sure he doesn't validate it, but he does, that is a crucial thing. And unfortunately for Rev Caterpillar, he might have to go again if he wants to improve that P9.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's going to have to charge up the battery again, and well, yeah, he's in 8th gear, just trying to save the fuel so he can go for another one. As Fresh just goes past him and on the soft start his lap, the Red Bull driver. And yeah, let's see who else is on our lap now.
Yeah, PSR Boots is on our lap. I'm just going to stick on board with him actually, because it looks like it could be a good one. The man currently sitting P8 in the qualifying standings, but crucially he's sitting top of the driver's standings. He's a man who's no stranger to sitting at the top of a qualifying order, and I don't think this will be any different. Oh, I love a moment as he touches that inside curb coming into the penultimate corner. A little bit deep again, just like Rev Caterpillar was earlier on in the session. That just could be crucial, and it looks like he's backed out of that one. He might be going again, but with only 55% in the race. I'm not too sure if that will be enough for PSR Boots as he comes across line. It will not be an improvement. It hasn't been a great session for PSR Boots because he's going to have to really pull something out of the bag here if he wants to improve that P8 position.
Yeah, he's going for another one. Well, navigated turn 1 and 2 very well there, to be fair, as he goes past, I think that's FRT Akos going slowly. Well, he must have done a mistake on his lap, because, well, time's finished now. And anyway, going through turn 6. Now that's, well, very nice now. Oh, he's done that really well in all fairness to him. Turn 7, now flat out through turn 8 into turn 9, 10 chicane. Want to go over that curb, he doesn't, and he's invalidated. Oh no, this is going to be an awful session for Boots. Very scruffy. Is Smokey? Look at that, Smokey's on pole position. Wow, great lap from the Suzuki driver.
Yeah, it's great stuff in the end, and kind of came out of nowhere as Smokey just looking up over Silas Owen coming out of the penultimate corner to see if he can improve. Really a real shame there for PSR Boots down in P9. It might even just be in the top 10 if he is lucky. For Silas now, he's coming across line. Where can he put that Aston Martin? And it's only good enough for P2 in the end. It's a very good lap actually. Indeed, SCV led and Silas's team, it looks like he's invalidated. He won't be improving. PSRX was backed out of his lap time, so there'll be no improvement as well from the Alpha Tauri. The other Alpha Tauri is Boots. We've already mentioned him, Akos. He's slowed off, so he will not be improving either. Shizu Piccolo looks like he's finished his, and he'll be finishing P12. Shizu not to see it coming across line. Currently 2 tenths up, could be enough maybe for a round about P9, and there you have it. It is P9 exactly. And McLaren done very nicely there to sneak into top 10. And the dying minutes, Fingerboy currently sitting in P15, and that is where he'll finish as he dives off into the pit lane. So there you have it. That is your final order, folks. Shizu Smokey puts it on pole position. F3 Silas in P2, his teammate SCV Legends nicely puts it in P3 M Racer, and P4 PSL Extra with, I'm going to guess, his best qualifying of the year in P5. Rev Caterpillar in P6, Cypher in P7, F30 Venom in P8, Shizu Noctix in P9, PSR Boots in P10, and PSR Fern, sorry, in P10, and crucially PSR Boots maybe slightly lucky, and then on P11 with the opportunity for that alternate strat.
Yeah, I mean, it's much better. Well, where was he? 8th was it for the majority of that session? Now he's 11th, which is, well, much better because he'll be able to go on the mediums, start on the mediums, and then pit about lap 18, let's say, for the soft compound tyres. He'll be slicing his way through the grid when he gets onto that fresh set of softs. Anyway, yeah, quite in, what should I say? well, interesting qualifying session, to be fair. I wasn't expecting to see Smokey on pole position. I thought Sav Legend has, well, really cemented it, to be honest, considering he's about a tenth clear of 4th place at the moment, but still that's also 5,000th of a second behind Smokey, which, well, shows that he could have been on pole position as well.
Yeah, I'm just noticing there, under 4 tenths separating first and 10th. It's a really close grid. There's not really much in it at all between all the drivers. I'm just going to look at the whole grid. If you ignore the guys in the mediums, and if you ignore Fingerboy, it's under 9 tenths from 1st to 14th. So the grid's super close. It was really fine margins, and I think when you've got, what was that, 27 lap race ahead of us, I think this pack has got a lot of potential to shuffle about.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty, well, majority of drivers are out of position, to be fair, like Boots and Fern. I think Fern should be right up there, to be honest. And yeah, let's see what happens at the start of this race.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this is normally what I get done to me every week, so Colin, it's this time of the race. We do this every week. What is your predictions for the top 3?
I think Smokey will actually take the victory, because it's quite difficult to overtake around here. I mean, you might want to go for the undercut, which is very powerful because the tyres go off, they overheat, and yeah, once you get on the fresh rubber, you got a massive advantage over people on older tyres. Second place, I'd say. I can see M Racer actually finishing there. Finishing in second. He was good yesterday. Very good when he raced in Tier 1. Good racecraft. And yeah, I think P3, you know, we spoke about Boots cutting through the grid on them, on the soft rubber. So yeah, I think he'll get P3.
Oh, very interesting indeed. Got a lot of faith in Peter Boots starting from P11. I'll go for my top 3 then. I'll go for a M Racer win. I'll go for PSL Wexro second, and I'll go for Shizou Smokey down in third. I just don't really think PSR Boots is going to have a great race today. I think down in P11, not done any league racing around Australia, but just kind of from the past, it's notoriously hard to overtake round here. We've obviously not got the new upgrades compared to what you see in real life, so it's just going to make that a little bit harder. And yeah, down in P11 in the midfield, there's a lot of potential to get caught up caught up in battles that are going to slow you down. So yeah, if Boots does get a good race today, good result today, sorry, it'll have to be out of an outstanding drive and a little bit of luck as well, because you always need that little bit of luck when you're starting in the kind of mids of that midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I said before, this track is notoriously difficult to overtake, and obviously in real life they've made the changes to it in order to help overtaking, but this, well, Codemasters haven't decided to change the circuit layout to, well, to be like real life, which would just promote better racing, better image for the league, really, if you see good racing in a race. And yeah, I mean, it'll surely be an interesting one. Yesterday, Tier 1, there were 2 safety cars, I believe, and 1 virtual safety car, which has really reshuffled the grid. You know, we had Shadow winning on the hards, Wilson and myself third, which is, well, I shouldn't have finished third, but anyway, yeah, that's what safety cars can do around here.
Yeah, it's a really interesting point. I think Australia's really notorious for being tricky. I think especially when we're coming up to Shizou Smoke at the moment, turn 11 and 12, and notoriously really tricky to get wrong, especially next at turn 12. You get in that curve in the wrong way, you can just throw your car. I think it's an earlier Frenzo going through turn 11, this car just gets sent up in the air. So yeah, there's a lot of ways that things can go wrong at Australia, and especially at turn 11, 12. But not only that, turn 1 and 2, we've seen it with Lutch and qualifying. They crashed bizarrely coming out the exit at turn 2. So there's so many areas that things can go wrong, and this tier loves a safety car anyway. So I think Australia just kind of ups the odds a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Can agree more if you tell them. Well, yeah, there's too many traction zones really around this circuit. You know, that's where people lose the car when the tyres are overheating. Let's say lap 8, you could have a safety car, because you know, the softs are pretty much just dead at that point, or towards the latter stages of the race when they're on the worn mediums or hards, depending on which strategy they choose, of course. But anyway, let's see them parking on the grid now to start the Australian Grand Prix.
Yeah, definitely should be a good one. PSR first in the squad, so not a great way for him to start his race, but
no.
Got 19 drivers here, all getting ready to start the race. We've got ERN, Max G and P17 on the softs, obviously top 10 on the softs as well, and then everyone else on the medium company tyres doing that alternate strategy. But we've got all 19 drivers now ready on the grid, and the lights should be in front of us in any moment now. Oh, there we have it. The lights are coming on in front of the drivers, and it's 5 red lights here in Melbourne. And we're off here in Albert Park. It's a good start there for the Mercedes in the lead, but Ferrari Salas looks like he's maybe got a good one as well. Maybe not though, as it looks like Smokey will take the lead coming out of turn 1. Salas is sitting neatly behind him as well. SAV Legends following through as well. M-Race in the background as well, sitting pretty comfortably in P4 already. Got a pretty big gap to PSR X on P5 with the yellow flag in the background. It looks like Sam is spun as well, looking at the battle for P6. I think it is Cypher, under a little bit of pressure from Rev Caterpillar as he sends it in. Doesn't make that one quite work though. The Haas as well, FRP Venom, sorry. He's getting in amongst it as well. We're outside of the Alpine. You don't normally see that one there. He's had to back out of that one. No choice here. No choice rather that on the wall for him there. And other than that, it looks like it's pretty single file and a pretty calm first lap as far as WR Pure 2 goes.
Yeah, I mean, oh look at Fern and Noctis. Almost Fern was spun into the wall there, down the inside into the chicane. Noctis braking very late, almost spinning over the curve to Fern actually. And Piccolo's going side by side with Lurch at the moment. Down to the fast chicane, this will be an interesting one. Lurch has to back out. Yeah, and he has.
Yeah, definitely had no choice there. But Lurch could start from the back of the grid, find himself up in P16, but we'll switch attention to the front of the grid now. Shizu Smokey leads away. It was a good start from him. To be honest, Silas had no chance. I thought they got a bit closer than they did, but in the end, he just had to sit behind them before turn 1, didn't face any sort of challenge. And in fact, I don't think really a lot of the guys in the top 5, 6 really changed positions, and I'm really trying to get the position change thing up for everyone to see it. And yeah, there you have it, Cypher and Rev Caterpillar. I don't want to in the top 5 to make any change.
We haven't noticed this. He's 19th for wing damage. On Shizu, what the hell is... Oh, anyway, as he comes into the pits now, 37 miles an hour, got to slow it down. Yeah. Albertari pit crew, and oh, Noctis is round. He's in the Alfie Butcher wall, and yeah. And well, you get to go in again. Shizue Sam goes past him. Anyway,
yeah, it's a shame for PSR Boots. Yeah, I'm glad you spotted it. Couldn't even realise in the moment. I mentioned that before the race. You know, there's a big risk starting in that midfield, and there you have it. First lap, he's caught up in an instant. You know, and it's not the first time this season Boots has found himself with a pretty poor start and maybe having to get wing damage or some sort of change at the start. So yeah, not good stuff there down in P19 on the hards. It's not ideal. I'm assuming he's going to try and take that to the end. I hope for a light safety car to salvage his race, but yeah, it's not looking good for the AlphaTauri man.
No, I mean, well, my prediction's absolutely down the toilet now. Third place is not looking on, and that's a safety car in the later stages of the race, and he goes on to the softs or something. But anyway, what's happened here? There's a Mercedes off.
TTM Lutch, yep, coming through turn 12. We mentioned that one. That's a pretty notorious place to find yourself the wrong way around, and there you have it. Just look at the front as well, those Ferrari Silas all over the back of the Mercedes. The Smokey in a big moment, no, pretty twitchy rear end as that Aston Martin. They come across the line to start lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled. I don't think we'll get any DRS until coming out of turn 12 though. So just going about raw pace at the moment. No overtakes just yet. No drivers really close enough to make any sort of overtakes. So it's all pretty much single file at the moment. But I see that M-Racer on the back of SAV Legend for P3. It's a dummy down the inside. Look at that for a move. That was standing there from the Williams of M-Racer. They found himself up at P3. Sebastian Vettel like there in Spain. That's what that one reminded me of. Looking for the outside and switch to the inside. And that's a shame there as well. Could it be a safety car as well? I'm not too sure.
Spun again.
Oh, that's tough, yeah.
He's just boiling the
Where did he spin it?
He spun it at turn 3. I'm guessing he's gone down the inside of someone, just hit their side pod and lost it, which is a very easy thing to do. Because Maxwell's actually passed Fern. What a start he's had. And they're side by side now. I don't know why he's giving it back, but anyway.
Yeah, there you have it. Strange stuff there, but they've it's currently still sitting in P8. Looking back to the front, Ferrari Silas on the back of Smokey still doing pretty well to hang on in the back. I think we might just see an overtake pretty soon between these two because Silas is looking pretty quick.
So something's happening with Fern. He must have an issue. He must have wing damage or something. Yeah, he definitely does. He's let loads of cars pass and he's just understood.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you there. Silas, what a moment there coming out the last corner. That was a very big moment there for the man in the Aston Martin. And yeah, that is not what you'd like to see at all if you're an Ferrari Silas fan, because he nearly found himself out of the race there, but managed to just just about hold that one up there. And I think you're right as well about PSR fairness coming in the pit lane a lot earlier than you would normally expect. So yeah, it's unfortunate stuff there for that Alfa Romeo man.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just going to ride on board with Silas, to be honest. I mean, these front two, by sounds of it, are having quite a few moments. Quite a few.
Yeah.
Well, almost crashes, let's say. There's it's very interesting, this battle for the lead. They're both within 5 tenths of each other, so I mean, Silas could go for a move here, to be fair. With DRS, he's boosting as well. 70% ERS he has. Within 4 tenths, this is prime positioning. Is he going to go for it now? DRS open? No, he doesn't. I mean, there's no point actually. Grab Caterpillar, a 3-second penalty, which is easy to do through the 10 and 11 chicane. Could have got it wrong on the exit curve there, and he almost spins again. Quite an eventful few laps, and Silas within 4 tenths once again, going down the Walker Straight into turn 1. He's for some reason he's showing Smokey that he's right behind him, trying to make him well, force him into a mistake really, but he's boosting again. Is he going to go for it, Callum? Oh!
It looks like there you have it. He just about shows a nose down the inside, but Smokey, he's wise to it, and he just breaks later on. Maybe a little bit of a dummy there. I'm not too sure if Silas was really fully committed to making that one, but he definitely gave Smokey a fright nonetheless. Just like over the side as well, just in my history, he was so close to the back of the Aston Martin as well. Put that full first sector and this full top 5 really are all so close, all within about 5 tenths of each other respectively. So we're looking at Silas boosting again, come down out of turn 9, and he's maybe made Smokey break later than he wanted to there. Now you go, he's all over the back of him, coming out of turn 9, and Smokey, he's now starting to feel the pressure of this after Martin. No, but what has happened to Silas?
The hell?
That was a strange one, he really backed off, and yeah, that's a bit of a bizarre one, and then race up all over the back of him now, so yeah, that's a bit of a strange one. Slowly backed off inside there as well, all over the back of SAV Legends. They're all so close to the back of each other, and it looks like maybe Scythe are going for a move on after Martin, but no, he's near enough pushed him through that corner. Yes, and look at him all over the back, and they're bumper cars, they're that close together. And coming out, if not the corner line, maybe make a dive on me, looks for it. Just thought better at that one. And just switch attention now. Silas, because it looks like we might just see a battle between these two as well. If not, there will be a battle in this top 5, surely top 7. Look how close they all are, all in the one shot. Don't normally see that one, especially around here at Albert Park. Go into turn 1, you don't normally see them look at the drivers who think better of it and try and get the run up the hill into turn 3, even if it is a hill, it might be now. Coming to Silas, all the back, he shows out Smokey. Will he go for a move this time? He kind of thought about it the last time, but he doesn't really feel like committed. Or does he again? He's stuck a nose up in the air. Could there be contact? No, Smokey's done fantastic to leave him space, and for Silas, maybe a little bit lucky. I think he just, if you're going to go for a move, you have to commit to it, and maybe count himself a little bit lucky there, but all over the back of him once again, surely not into this corner, but he pokes a nose just to show him that he's there once again, and there you have it. He's currently still sitting in P2.
Yeah, that was pretty good battle, to be fair. Silas giving us a good show here, putting his nose down the inside, Smokey into turn 3, almost made contact, and sorry to cut across, but Shizue Sam was spun at the final corner. Just not helping his race at all, considering he's always been down in 16th. But anyway, Silas back on the rear of Smokey. And what the hell? Oh, what on earth is that?
Is that maybe his wheel disconnecting? Yeah, it must be a wheel issue, surely, but it's a wheel issue that's going to put him probably out with this race. What a shame it was. He was having a great race. He's got wing damage, and there you have that. Caught on board with him. We've got the best seat in the house for that one. Just go through the wall, I'm not too sure. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation to that one, because you don't normally see things like that happen too often, so yeah, really unfortunate stuff there. But now it means M-Racer is in prime position to take the lead of this race, 90% ERS for the Williams, so he's looking pretty healthy in that respect. Smokey went down to 59% SAV Legend as well, round about that high 50s mark, so M-Racer looks like he's got a good bit of pace around here, and that Cal will be reaching if he misses this one. He's a big advocate of M-Racer 9, and he'd be very disappointed if he misses his first win, so yeah, it's always a long way to go, but he is looking good as a man in the Williams.
Yeah, I mean, he should be able to get past Smokey. Smokey's all over the circuit. He's making mistakes here, there, and everywhere. Akos has gone for a spin actually through, I believe it's turn 4, which is obviously a shame for the Alpine driver. But anyway, back onto the battle for the lead. M-Racer on the rear of Smokey. Is he going flat out now? And I was just looking at the ERS levels of every car. They're all pretty similar, apart from the leader, Smokey, and Sav Legend, who are both on about 60%, which is possibly we'll see Cypher capitalising on that if he's aware of the levels. But Waxwell going a bit wide through there. Obviously, his tyres look like they're going off completely. But anyway, back on the battle to the lead. M-Racer now going to get DRS in the main straight behind Smokey, using a little bit of DRS. Nah, he's not going to make it on this straight, but nah, you don't really want to do on this straight anyway. Turn 1's too quick to really go down the inside. He's not going to go for it again. He's just biding his time, which is sensible from the WOR development driver. M-Racer 9, and Skyfoot right up the rear of Sav Legend, which he's clearly pressuring him into a mistake. Akos in the pits, now onto fresh hards.
Yeah, definitely. This front 5 also close. It's something you don't normally see, especially around here. It's such a technical track, easy to make mistakes, but they're running also tight behind each other. But air not playing obviously that much from the effect PSR. Wexler's probably at the end of the train, and there's a bit of a drop off. 3 seconds behind Teref Caterpillar, and a few seconds behind him is Maxi G. And then you're onto the medium runners, so you've only got 7 guys left on the softs. So we'll stick on with these guys at the front, because surely we're going to have to see a move or a mistake anytime soon. SCV Legends maybe a little bit back track, can't be a warning. They come through turn 11. But all over the back Racer just kind of shows he's a nose down the inside. He's never going to make that move though. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what we start to see moves now, especially now we kind of come into the pit window. We're getting closer to it anyway. So we'll be interested to see the drivers now start to get impatient now. Do they start to maybe go for moves? Especially if you look at M-Racer 100% ERS, you know, he's really been saving. You can tell he's got the pace in there. He's just maybe not getting the free yet to use it. And you can see in the bottom left, that little green arrow means he is using his ERS. And maybe is he going for the move this lap? He's all the back on coming at someone. He's not going to make the move here. He's going to try and get a good run out. Good run on Shizou Smokey coming up the hill into turn 3. Let's see, you've got DRS, he's using his ERS, but Shizou Smokey, he's just a bit too far away in the straight. It's just a bit too short for him because M-Racer isn't close enough coming to turn 3 to make any sort of move. So yeah, as it stands, it's still a stalemate in this top 5.
Yeah, I mean, you could be able to see one of the top 5 drivers going for, well, pitting this lap in order to gain advantage. They could even come out, say if Wags were there, he could even come out in that P2, maybe even the lead. So, yeah, that would be interesting to see. Also,
yeah, it's so plausible. The undercut, I think we've seen it around Mexico. There was like kind of similar 4 or 5 cars, and the guy in 4th or 3rd pitted, they came out in the lead. It's, you know, different tracks, the undercuts are better, but you know, it's a really good idea for one of these guys. If you think you're quicker than the position you're in, you can easily do the undercut and maybe get a few positions out of it. But anyways, once again on the back of Smokey coming into turn 13, but just not really close enough to make a move once again. You know, I feel like a broken record player, just repeat myself all the time. Just drivers just not really close enough to never make a move. They're just kind of teasing it every time, but I just don't think the straights are long enough for these guys, unfortunately, at the moment. But we'll stick on more M-Racer once again. Maybe this is it. 9th time the champ, and it's what he's done.
Sorry to cut across, but Cypher's just coming into the pits. As I spoke about, undercut is very, very powerful.
Oh, sorry, interrupt you once again there. M-Racer going for the lead of the race. Typical once we start talking about pit lanes. M-Racer, he takes his chance for the lead of this race, and will maybe SCV Legends spot a chance as well to maybe promote himself up into P2. He's got his nose down the inside for turn 3 and possibly up into P2 of this race. Side by side, the two of them go. That's the Martin. He's going to squeeze his Mercedes rival out to the outside of the track, but the two of them still going side by side. Great respect, great racing for the two of them, and it looks like Legends might just have the advantage with the inside line. And there you have it. He's caught himself up into P2 by great respect and great racing from the two of them there.
Yeah, I mean, that's brilliant. Going side by side through there, you don't see that often. You know, we're lucky that we didn't see who was it on the outside, Smokey going for the move. He could have been just absolutely wedged into the wall, which, well, wouldn't have been good for his race. But anyway, and Red Caterpillar's just going through the grass. No idea what happened there. Shizou Finn, could he make the move here? No, he'll wait for DRS. Well, yeah, Rev Caterpillar's tyres are clearly going off. He'll be in the pits as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Shizou Finn all over the back of him. Look at him going at turn 13.
Oh, look at Silas.
We'll have the move on him. And there you have it. And you see, look at Silas. What has happened to Silas?
I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. His wheels are playing up, I think. You don't usually crash there. It's so weird. But anyway, Sav Legends into the pits. It'll be interesting to see where Cypher comes out in comparison with Stab Legend. So yeah, just coming through the penultimate corner now. Last corner. No DRS, of course. He's not within a second of the car in front, who is actually Red Caterpillar losing the pit. And oh, he's jumped Stab Legend and Wexford, which I believe he's in front anyway. But he jumped Stab Legend by postcode or two. Very good outlap for Cypher.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned that that's possible. There you have it. It's a prime example of it. And Wexro and SAV Legends. I'm a bit disappointed with that one there because it's only a lap longer even on those medium tyres, so it's not a massive advantage for the guys on the newer tyres, you could say. So yeah, it's a shame for them, and I think if you're M-Racer and Suzuki Smoke as well, you might be a little bit disappointed if you hear about that news, because it probably means they're going to be even further back than that. FRS last, unfortunately, was retired from the race. Put him down into P17. P17 wasn't a great race, obviously, with those issues that he was having, so it's a shame from him. He's got another spin as well, and that for a male in Sector 1. So yeah, it's all happening, yeah. We'll stick on with M-Racer, see if he comes into the pitting, because if he does, I think it'd be a no-brainer to do so, especially looking at the state of how big the undercut is. It's pretty substantial around here. Suzuki Smoky follows one as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see now, will these guys that have got an undercut, where they come out in retrospect, third time lucky to Suzuki Smoky and M-Racer.
Yeah, I mean, Cypher pitting early, going for the undercut is really throwing, well, I was going to say throwing Cameron's pigeons, but that even makes sense, but anyway. Cypher not going down the main straight. And M-Racer, he's jumped, he's in the lead. Cypher, wow, what an undercut. 2 laps fresher, well, older mediums I should say, but that's not going to make much of a difference. M-Racer, and he's M-Racer's from barely any RS either, so he's been pushing. Cypher has done 2 brilliant laps here to launch himself into the lead. Obviously a track which is notorious for not being able to overtake around, and Cypher's utilised that and is in the lead.
Yeah, it's some really impressive stuff, but I think crucially for the guys behind him, M-Racer still in the DRS, which kind of just keeps him with him. It keeps the guys all with Cypher, because I think M-Racer showed it first into this race that he's got good pace. So yeah, I think if M-Racer can make sure he just sticks around Cypher these first few laps, and I think just as the race starts to kind of bed in, those mediums start to bed in, I think we should start to see M-Racer maybe start to come back at Cypher. Those 2 laps as well will probably play a good advantage in M-Racer's favour coming into this race as well. PSL Wexford is going to see 2 tenths behind SAV Legends, but nowhere near close enough. And when you put it this way, we've seen it this way, sorry, so make a move on SAV Legends. So yeah, as it stands, Cypher is your net racer of the race, M-Racer second, SAV Legends third, PSL Wexford fourth, and Suzuki Smoky in the net fifth.
Yeah, I mean, what's the gap between 8 seconds? So he could actually catch up to the old medium runners Cypher. So that will really hamper his progress. M-Racer, look at him, he's already within half a second. So he's clearly used DRS to his advantage, closing right up to the gearbox of Cypher into turn 3. And I haven't noticed that, but Stab Legend also has a penalty, so yeah, that's absolutely ruined his chances of possibly even winning the race.
Yeah, so it's going to be a sore one, that, especially maybe with a late safety car. Then it released that debate. We've seen it last week, the late safety car, and basically guys that had no penalties around Mexico did a great result. And I think it could be similar around here. We've not had any crashes, to be fair, with a few spins, few incidents here and there, but nothing like nothing terminal. So we're interested to see if we keep that one stays the way it is. But I think it'd be quite interesting if we had a safety car around about lap 2021. I think that always just kind of throws a spanner into the mix. But just sticking on board with M-Racer at the moment, Cypher just hold a little bit of a gap to M-Racer for that middle sector, but just with the DRS, it just kind of keeps M-Racer in play. And it's just a bit of cat mouse at the moment. There's no one's really going to go for the overtake. It's just about keeping your tyres in shape, keeping your DRS at a healthy level, and yeah, just biding it out to the end of the race, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're going to want to save DRS if you were the likes of M-Racer. You could get past Cypher in the last couple of laps, and you won't be able to get past you because he's using all of his DRS to, keep in front. And yeah, we'll see what happens anyway towards the latter stages of the race. But M-Racer once again closing up to him, turn 3. He's not going to go for the move, wisely so. He's waiting, he's biding his time, which is something which the majority of people who are in second place do.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just going to just change our attention to the boys that are leading the race on those old medium compounded tyres. How far do you think you can get more when you come to Italy and full soft? Do you reckon we could see Finn maybe challenging for a podium coming into the race?
Well, how long's the pit? How long does it take to pit? Let's say 21 seconds?
25.
Something like that?
No, I'd say 25, 26 maybe.
Really?
Yeah, slow pit lane speed.
I don't know. I don't think Finn will be able to challenge for a podium then. I mean, what's the gap between him and Cypher? About 9 seconds, something like that. So, 8 seconds. I mean, let's say when he pits, that's going to be like 24 or something.
Yeah.
Because obviously Cypher's going to close up for the next few laps. I mean, the medium runners are going to want to pit in about, well, actually just 2 laps time, which is when the majority of Tier 1 drivers pitted yesterday. And yeah, M-Race is closer than before actually, on the back of Cypher. Well, let's see if he goes to the movie. He's not going to. I mean, there's no point even saying it. It's obvious that he's not going to.
Yeah, no, it's not easy to be a hype man around here in Australia. It's been pretty tough to see any overtaking. It's just not really worth the risk. I mean, I think we've seen it earlier on. Was it maybe with Silas and whoever it was leading the race? I think it was maybe SCV Legends. And yeah, a few things just sticking the nose in. They've been so easy when he was going for these moves. Apparently, just get spun round. I've even seen it was at Legends and M-Racer or whoever it was, the 2 guys battling. Remember through turn 3, 4 and 5. You know, it's great racing, but it could have been so easily in the complete opposite way, and one of them in the wall with a race over. So I think when you go for a move on 3, you have to be fully committed. You have to really hope that the guy is on the same wavelength of being given you space, because, you know, overtake can so easily go the wrong way. Just looking at Smokey though, all over the back of Wexford, maybe this could be a prime example of a good battle here as well. SCV Legends up ahead. Against Smokey backs off, it beats all over the back of PSL Wexford, and we definitely could see a move for this PA anytime soon. All over the back into the final side, could we see a dive on into the penultimate corner? He teased it once again, but yeah, still just no action. However, if he can get a good exit out of this final corner, he can maybe put Wexford under pressure through turns 1 and turn 3. Let's just see everyone obviously getting DRS. That's a prime example of a DRS train, and it just kind of makes everyone's life that little bit harder when coming to overtake. And coming through turn 1 they go. Doesn't look like we'll see any overtaking. Just, you know, the DRS just kind of helps everyone out when M-Racer doesn't make any move. It just doesn't make it any easier. But there you have it. He does make a move. Coming out turn 3, he goes M-Racer down the inside, and he does make the move. Alpha Tauri in the background as well, going for a move. And Aston Martin sticks up the inside the top 4. Oh, it's so close. This couldn't have been contact. But great respect from the two of them. And SCV Legends just about hanging onto that. P3 can Wexford doing anything about it. Coming into turn 6, it doesn't look like it. And there you have it. Still Wexford, he does go for it, and then, however, to no avail, the SCV Legends stays in the net P3.
A great battle between Wexford and Legend, and obviously we saw M-Racer actually go for the move in the end. You know, lap before I said there's no point even saying it, and he goes for it next lap for God's sake. But anyway, Sav Legend defending well from Wexford. I mean, Wexford's up his inside into 2 and 4, which is really where you don't want to be. So if you touch the side pod, you've gone into a wall like we saw. Well, Vettel went in the wall, but that was without contact. So anyway, Smokey, he could be able to capitalise on the battle going on between Wexford and Sav Legend. Well, was going on, but could see it again this lap actually.
Yeah, but it just kind of shows you how much of a domino effect it was. You know, as soon as M-Racer went for the move inside, everyone else just started to go for moves, and once again, PSL Wexford all over the back of SCV Legends. And they might not need to help with Wexford going for a move this time to make the move. He does obviously will be moving into turn 1. But Cypher as well, I'm just seeing just in front of me as well, all over the back of Racer. But a big mistake there from SCV Legends. So this just might put him a bit more vulnerable than they wanted to. PSL Wexford coming into turn 3. They go, Wexford, he's going to dive it down the inside. A bit of contact as well from Mercedes. But he does break later than the Aston Martin. But might not be enough. He's hanging around the outside. There you have it. What a move that was from PSL Wexford. Your PSL runner showing the rest of his drivers how it's done and putting himself up into a net P3. Great stuff there from Wexford.
Brilliant move around the outside. He was very daredevil braking into turn 3, straight down the inside of Sav Legend when he wasn't even next to him on the straight, just with the DRS. You know, great braking from Wexford in all fairness to him. It's a great move, probably the best move of the race so far.
Yeah, you need to be really brave as well to go for a move like that. And yeah, just be confident that SCV Legends gives you the space, and fair dues to SCV Legends, he's been a great sport all race. You know, he's been giving drivers room when they're sending it and sending dive bombs. So yeah, it takes two to race well, and the SAV Legends played his part there, so yeah, good stuff. I think Smokey's, although he'll be next to try and get by SAV Legends, it doesn't look like SAV Legends is the pace compared to the other guys at the front, and yeah, I think he might just be vulnerable as Smokey all the way back from in the penultimate corner. SAV is going to try and set up a move. He's really down there and pushed him through that final corner, and I think we could see an overtake for this next P4. We'll stick a more races of Smokey, DRS obviously, but as we've seen this race, I don't think we've seen a race a move into turn 1, or an M race. I think he's the only one that I can remember, but a little bit wide into turn 1 for Shizu Smokey, which isn't going to help his chances of making this overtake. So coming up the hill and go into turn 3, will he make any sort of move? Doesn't look like it. It had to be an very audacious move, and yeah, there you have it. Sits behind him at the moment and up, and he stays in P5, but they're now promoted to P5 as the guys who were on your medium to vault for the salt compound attack.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they slice through the grid. I just briefly caught a glimpse of Finn going around the outside of Rev Caterpillar into turn 13, I believe it was. You know, utilising the DRS to his advantage and just, you know, better tyres, you could brake later. So yeah, he just went around the outside of him there. And he's dropped him from DRS now, so he's on the charge to hunt down his Ferrari teammate ERN Maxwell G.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much progress these guys make. I did mention briefly that Finn could maybe get a podium this race, and it could be possible. I'm just going to check about the guys that are actually on the podium spot. Shizu Smokey all the back of SAV Legends once again. I think this move is just starting to brew, and I think it might just start to boil over pretty soon, because Smokey, I think he might be starting to get pretty frustrated behind Legends. He's been there for a while now, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see when he does go for this move and how he makes it. Crucially, PSR Wexford just up ahead, all over the back of Cypher as well. Cypher maybe starting to struggle a little bit as well with that DRS. Maybe just getting him out of jail. Cypher slows slightly, so coming at a turn when we go on board with Shizu Smokey. Will he make a move? We've been hyping this one up for a while, but once again, just not really a great run out of turn 1. It had to be a very ambitious move into turn 3 to get the move done. Yeah, he's teasing us there a little bit with the dummy down the inside, but yeah, there we have it. He still sits in P5 all the time being.
Yeah, I mean, I've just noticed the gap 8 tenths between M-Racer and Cypher. I mean, I know Cypher appeared a lap earlier than, well, actually 2 laps earlier than M-Racer, but his tyres really shouldn't be that bad at the moment. I mean, he's lacking confidence over the curbs. He's lost the DRS in fact, and almost puts it in the wall. His teammate, his PSR teammate Wexler is behind him. And I don't know if we'll see any moves, you know, of course. Team orders and all that, but anyway, Smokey, I don't see him getting past Sab Legend anytime soon. He's not got the ERS, and he isn't close enough by the exit of turn 1 to go from movements to turn 3 down by using the DRS on that straight, of course. But no, actually, he's quite close this time, but clips the grass into the penultimate corner, and you know, he goes a little bit wide. He's understood wide, so yeah, that's really, you know, put him off for making a move on this lap. And yeah, so we see M-Racer actually just completely leave Cypher now.
I think it's a possibility. You know, you look at it, PSR Extra now in the back of Cypher, he'll be a bit frustrated that he's now lost the potential chance of leading this race because of that DRS gap, but once again it takes one mistake from M-Racer, or maybe Wextra gets by Cypher needs a bit quicker, and that all could just change. But M-Racer is in a very healthy position at the moment, and yeah, he is looking good. Oh, big mistake! Oh, what about that for a commentator's curse? He's facing the wrong way. He's done everything right from start to finish, and this race win in WR Tier 2 just seems to elude M-Racer, and it's such a shame. He's found himself down in P5, and another error for M-Racer, but might just cost him another race win in this tier. So yeah, really unfortunate stuff, and I think that is a prime example of what you call a commentator's curse, folks. It's, yeah, got stuff there for M-Racer.
I can't believe it. You know, I was on about him just leaving Cypher, but now he's left the track and spun. So yeah, he's 6 seconds behind Smokey. So Finn's probably going to get him as well, though he has a penalty. So I just see him finishing P5 to him situation. I don't think he's got wing damage either, which is obviously a positive for him. I mean, thank God he hasn't done a Maldonado in 2012, where he just crashed into the wall massively. But anyway, oh look at. Oh no, doesn't matter. It's just 0 times Ghost. I thought there was some battling going on ahead. But anyway.
a bit too ambitious of you there to get battling here, but that spin of M-Racing now just kind of gives the opportunity for PSL Extra to win his first ever Tier 2 racing in this tier for 2 years, and he's never got a win, so maybe you're a lucky champion, Connor, and this could be This could be his first run here tonight. He's in a very good position for it. We've seen him all over the back of side just before Racer spun, so yeah, he's in a really good position for it. He kind of doesn't need to worry about behind. Obviously, ICD Legends with that 3-second time penalty. It's really important to remember that. So yeah, it just kind of keeps it open. And Shazoo Smoke as well, he might be a little bit, he might be kind of wanting to go for that win now, but he's just going to be quite annoying to have Shazoo Legends in the way. Or maybe it's just quite content for the P3, it just depends how his mindset is. Cypher as well, though, he's sitting pretty comfortably in P1. He'd love to get this one at the moment, especially when you look at PS Boots down in P14 at the moment. This would be a massive for him. If he won, as it stands, if he won this race, it would cut the championship lead from PS Boots to Cypher down to just 9 points, and that is not a lot of points, obviously. So it's 34 as it stands, so it just kind of shows you the big swing that it would give you. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this all just kind of starts to go. But Cypher, he's got a lot of work to do still, but 8 laps left in this race in PSLX, so I think he'll be really seeking a good opportunity for his first ever race when we don't normally see PSLX up here doing so well for such a constant period of time. And I'm not going to slag him off, I'm just being honest. We normally see him coming from the back and then nicking a light good points finish at the end, but it's not normally we see him this far up the grid, but near enough pushing Cypher through turn 1, and this could be the chance. He definitely can get him, and Cypher, I think he knows he's going to get him. He doesn't really play too much of a fight to that one, and yeah, definitely there's but could it be a move for SAV Legends as well? He sticks and knows up, makes a bit of contact between the two. Cypher sliding a little bit there as well, due to the contact, but he keeps on the black stuff, and that is the main thing. Cypher, he stays in P2, but that balance is allowed PSR Wexro. Just getting 9 cents of a gap, and if he can get a good middle sector into PSR Wexro, could find himself breaking that crucial DRS barrier.
Yeah, I mean, we're speaking about, you know, Wexro not being, well, he's never really up front, is he? He's usually around, well, higher midfield, you know, at the back of the train. No offence to him, of course. And anyway, yeah, it's nice to see him winning. He's probably got a warning there by cutting the, is it turn 11, turn 12, I believe? The chicane, yeah, I think he cut the entry curve there. And Cypher is back in the DRS range. If he does this corner nicely, he'll get it. Yeah, he's got it. I think. Let's see.
Yeah, it was really close. Just want to mention as well, Shazoo Smokey with a 3-second time penalty, so it just means it's your top 2 guys at the front of Shazoo Piccolo. A 10-second time penalty, interesting enough. You don't see that one often as PSR Berners round. That's not good stuff for him.
Track.
Yeah, he's in P12, he wasn't fighting for too much anyway, so it won't make too much of a difference to this race. But a safety car! Oh, wow!
Oh, this is absolutely ruined Wexro's race, I think.
Yeah, that is not good. If you're a Wexro fan, the thousands of Wexro fans around the world will not be happy with that one. 7 laps to go on the clock. It looks very good for PSL Wexro, and yeah, he's not in a good position now. I think it's going to be interesting as well. Do they come into pit lane? I think you had this last week, so you'll be a good man to answer this.
I mean, yesterday it was a lap 25 safety car, I believe, so we boxed on the majority. I think everyone in the grid actually, apart from Shadow and Blackie perhaps, didn't pit onto the fresh soft. I mean, we could see Wexro staying out, but I don't see why he would. I'd pit onto soft, to be honest, you know.
Yeah.
They're so much better than 12 lap old mediums, but anyway, let's see what happens. It'll be interesting, in all fairness.
Yeah, definitely it'll be interesting. It also brings PSR Boots, your championship, with their back into this race. He's been almost hard tyre since the first lap. Comes into the pit lanes and fits on what will feel like a different car with those soft compound tyres. Fresh softs, and they can give it health for leather for these last 7 laps of the race. But we'll stick him with PSR X, we'll see what he does. I think, yeah, I think that's a good call there, Brian.
Oh, look at that.
I know, wow, Legend stays out, and that is both 3-second time penalty as well. I'm not too sure how much I agree with that decision. Our time multi-out Shazoo fan comes into the pit lane as well, interestingly enough. On those 6 lap old softs, but he thinks I'll get some fresh tyres on it anyway. Fingerboy does stay out. VSR Fresh comes into the pit lane. A bit of a mix of strategy from the guys up in the older kind of soft compounded tyres. We have Caterpillar on his older medium, he comes into the pit lane.
Sab Legend, he caught up to the safety car, and well, the safety car stopped, of course, to wait for Sab Legend, well, to pick up Sab Legend, I should say. And Sab Legend was completely, well, he kind of forgot the safety car was there and drove straight past it, and then jammed on the brakes and locked up massively, so that's going to help the tyres, is it? And yeah, going back to what you said earlier, I think, well, I mean, I don't know if pitting was, like, I guess you can take the gamble, you know. I don't think you'll win from it, but anyway, and Fingerboy stayed out, 6-lap old tyres, so I mean, he has a big chance of winning, although he has a penalty, which actually just thrown that away. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to find a few laps.
Yeah, it'll be another thing I wanted to mention. Suzuki, Sam's Ghost is in between first and second, sorry. So yeah, I think that's going to be interesting as well, because it just means Fingerboy won't be able to react to Legends, he'll have to react to Sam's AI. I don't think he'll be able to overtake him unless he can kind of do some kind of magic to get by him. He's went through them there, but it's going to cause chaos. So
yeah. Oh no, it's
I think it's just about survived that one, but yeah, the AI is going to cause a little bit of chaos.
Yeah.
And just kind of, I'll give Legends that extra few corners or so to kind of get away with everything. So yeah, we're slightly anticlimactic safety car restart, I think. However, I think that might just make it a little bit more interesting, because Fingerboy will then start to catch up on Legends, and then, interesting enough, then you've got a full pack of basically the people behind them on fresh soft. So you've got old mediums versus old soft versus fresh soft. So you've got quite a lot of different strategies going on here. So yeah, it should be a pretty good last 5 laps of this race.
I mean, yeah, going back to the Suzuki situation, I think what Fingerboy could do is possibly like force the Ghost off the track and go past him then, because that will allow him past. I mean, that's what I try and do, although that's probably not even legal, but anyway. Let's see what he does now. No, he's just letting it go. Yeah, so this is really going to cost him, because he's not going to be able to react as quickly from Sad Legend. He'll just... Actually, he won't really pull away, will he? Because he's on 14-lap old mediums.
No, I probably won't pull much away, but it just will probably not allow Fingerboy to get a jump on Legends on the restart. I think that will just maybe hamper him a little bit, because I think for Fingerboy it would be very good for his race if he could get a car between him and the rest of the soft runners behind him, you know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. But Wexel, Cypher, they're probably your 2 main guys to look out for. These are your guys in the net race league, the 2 guys without penalties. Emirates are down in P9 as well. He obviously had that spin. However, he's still on for a good result, not picked up a penalty this race. And as it stands, he would probably finish at least the top 5, but still got a lot of laps to go to try and keep it on the track, not get a penalty, maybe overtake some cars as well, because we know he's got the pace. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how he can do from P9 on the grid.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the championship again, and I mean, looking at the amount of people who have penalties in front of Boots, I'll have to see if there's any like more than 3 seconds. But yeah, how do I look at this?
I can see it for you, just try to see the Right, okay, so we've got SUV Legends has got 3 seconds, but we've got Fingerboy on 6, Smokey with 3, Finn with 3, Fresh with 9, Red Capper with 6, Maxi G with 6, Piccolo with a 10 one, which is a bit bizarre, Lutz with 9, and Fen with 3, so a little bit of a mixture all over. Not as severe as the penalties from last week in Mexico, however, still a pretty good substantial amount. But because Fen hasn't got to the back of the pack, the safety car is out for another lap, which is probably good news if you're SUV Legends.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Wexler will win the race here. I don't see why not. If he, let's hope he doesn't crash or something. Commentator's curse, of course. I mean, you saw what happened to M Racer. I mean, actually, M Racer, he's in a decent position again. You know, could be on for 3rd, depending on what happens with the cars in front. But yeah, anyway, going back to the championship situation, you know, Boots, we thought the Cypher was going to close up to, what was it, 9 points or something like that. Look, all the cars in front, now penalties. He's on the fresh softs, and obviously he's a very quick driver. Compared to, like, well, not compared, but he's one of the quickest on the grid, let's say. And I don't think this is over. I think he can still get, like, 7th place, perhaps 7th or 6th, which should obviously be, well, it'd be quite good. You know, the gap won't be, actually, depending if Cypher wins or not, it'll be about 20 points, let's say.
Yeah. Definitely.
It hasn't been dented as much.
Yeah, exactly. You could definitely just kind of damage limitation, I think is a good word for him, considering what happened in qualifying and then whatever happened to him for the first lap. But yeah, it could be good damage limitation, and it's not normally we see that from Wexel. We can either see a very good race or a really bad race, so I think he kind of needs those races every now and then where it's not a good day at the office, but he still kind of comes home, brings home 8 to 10 points or something like that. But safety car is in this lap, so this is kind of the crunch time for everyone. SCV Legends, he doesn't need to worry about the car behind him because the car behind him is a lap car. And I don't think Fingerboy will even be able to overtake the lap car. I'm not too sure, and this genuinely could cause chaos, just the AI on its own. But we'll see what SCV Legends does. Fingerboy will try his best to react to SCV Legends, but we'll see how it all pans out. Legends just weaving as much as he can. I'd imagine he'll go as late as he can, just due to the kind of condition of his tyres. He want to race as little racing laps as possible. And yeah, he's going to try and hang on for dear life. He's got that penalty, so the race win is not on for Legends. But we'll see how it all pans out. He's waving, he's waving, he's waving. When will he go? Wexford's well looking pretty feisty in the background.
Is he just going up
AI
to the line?
Oh, he's gone that. It looks like it'll be, but he's going to look at that side with that great reaction in the background as well. Going for P4. Not too sure if he can overtake just about until now, but there you have it. He's side by side with PSR Wexford coming out of turn 1. Nico, will he make the move on that for Terry? He's going to go for it. Another Mercedes as well as 3 wide, and there's chaos. Shizou Smokey went for the move, and it's found, I think that was Scyther, who's found himself facing the wrong way. PSR Wexford, he's just about to hang on in there as well. But he's picked him a 3-second sign penalty, so he's got a lot of work to do now. But what a chaotic start that one was. I have no idea what happened. Shizou Smokey just bit off far too much more than he could chew, and he caused an absolute mammoth crash coming into turn 1.
I have absolutely no idea what he's thinking. Why would you go down the inside, make it 3 wide? I mean, it's a perfect situation for Boot. Cypher is championship rival. Oh, sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you there. Fingerboy and AI, I'm not too sure what's happening. Sam Finn going round the outside of the AI and Fingerboy, and Fingerboy had a bit of a not a very good start at all, to put it lightly. Caterpillar up at the P5 as well. He's had a great restart, and Fingerboy back into the real world as he's down to P6, but not been a good start from that. So Racer all over the back of Fingerboy. Can he make him now? No DRS yet, as the safety car has just came in, but it's like we've been racing for ages. What a chaotic start it has been. Yeah, absolutely crazy. I mean, I'm not sure why Wex was 5 seconds worth of penalties. I think that could be one for like track limits, and then 2 for perhaps a collision behind the safety car. Or
it could be to do with the AI of Shizui Sam. Yeah. So that one definitely could be removed. I never really thought about that, but he's on the back of SCV Legends then. He won't be caring about this penalty if he puts himself into this race, but he's backed out with that one. He knows he can bide his time, he knows he's got the quicker car, he knows he's on the quicker tyres, and he can just play it carefully. He doesn't need to risk anything here. This is his first win in WOR on the line, but Legends is defending, he can defend. You know, this is his race lead on the line. There's 2 laps to go. There's a lot to go now. He definitely can win. Rev Caterpillar as well, and there was as well, down in P5, but he's just not able to get the move in Shizui, and he will stick in P5. Emery's done a great job to get into P6, where he is.
Going for the
PSR Boots as well, and P8 and L, there you have it. PSR Wexford up in the lead of the race, just about missed the end of that one, and SCV Legends dropping back as well. Shizou Smokey crucially stays with PSR Wexford, gets up into P2. Shizou Finn as well, going round the outside of the Aston Martin. Can he make the move? Stick, it looks like he can.
Good move.
That guy in the mediums, SCV Legends, is just after drop back on a big contact into the wall there for Rev Caterpillar, or was it Emirates? I think it was Rev Caterpillar, as he tried to make the move on Emirates, and he's found himself probably with half a front wing, so he's got a long way to go. A lap and a half left with half a front wing. It's all starting to kick off here with a lap and a bit to go. SCV Legends with a penalty, that's not going to do him any favours on those older mediums, as you could start to go back and back and back. But with only just about a lap to go, PSR Wexford is in the driving seat to win this race. With a lap to go, we know safety car's fairness out of the race, but PSR Wexford, I mentioned, very good position. Shizou Smokey won't have any DRS, and all Wexford will have to do is just bring this home. We've obviously mentioned he's got that 5-second time penalty, but I'm going to imagine it's going to get removed just due to the way it was kind of given out. So there's a very good position for PSR Wexford. Shizou Smokey sitting pretty prettily in P2. Shizou Finn in P3 as well. Don't think he's going to have to do too much defending, but Racer is looking all over the back of SCV Legends for this P4, and Racer could actually be on for the race win, but he doesn't go for it. And SCV Legends is just going to hold up that Williams for pretty longer than he'd have wanted. PSR Boots going for a move in Rev Caterpillar, but only found himself in the grass after that one, so yeah, bit of a strange run there on PSR Boots, but we'll stick back on board with Racer while he make the move on SCV Legends. It doesn't really need to make the move, he's not got a penalty, and SCV Legends does, so it's not crucial for him to make any sort of move anytime soon. But there you have it, he's got the one on him, he's going to go round the outside. SCV Legends can't do much about it, and there you have it, that extra grip. It's just paying his dividends, and he's up into P4. Great recovery drive there from PSR. Sorry, not PSR, it's M-Racer. But now looking battle for the lead. PSR Extra under a little bit of pressure from Suzu Smoky. It's just under half a lap to go, and it's all to play for now. PSR Extra, he's defending it, but all over the back of him, Suzu Smoky, he's coming pretty thick and fast. Will he go for the move? And he is going for the move. He's side by side between the two of them. The race lead is on their hands here. Can he make the move on Suzu Smoky? And he has. Fantastic stuff there from Suzu Smoky. Can Wexford do anything to respond? I don't think he can. This might be alright for Wexford. Remember, Suzu Smoky with that 3-second time penalty, and it might just save Wexford's race if he can get the 5-second remove. But in the end, it's going to be Suzu Smoky who takes the lead and takes a win here, sorry. And Australia will be M-Racer who wins in the end. Wow, what a turn of the books that was. He didn't get any penalties, and he does get the win. He's kept it on the track. He spun earlier on, but he kept his head in there, and he got the lead of this race. He won it. So fantastic stuff there from him. PSR boots in P3 in the end. Wexford's 5-second penalty. But remember, if Wexford does get that 5 seconds removed, he will be your winner of the race, and M-Racer will drop into P2. But a lot of permutations involved with that. So there you have it. M-Racer winner. What a great race that was.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant recovery from M-Racer. You know, he spun from the lead, didn't he? On like, wow, what lap was it? Like lap 15 or something. And now the safety car's really helped him. He's not got any warning. Well, he should have got a warning or two, but he hasn't got a penalty, and he's just utilised, you know, his cautiousness over the curbs and everything to not get enough warnings to cause a penalty. And well, he's won the race somehow. I'm shocked at that, and yeah, what a crazy ending.
Yeah, it does look like Bextra will get that. Penalty removed. So just remember, the guy with the English flag, will put him in P1. So PSR Bextra, we will probably say will win this race. And just got to double check, but I imagine he got that penalty for overtake under blue flags, but I think it will get removed. I don't think it's something you normally see get given out. So I would imagine Wexford will be your winner of the race, but you never know. So for the time being, we'll say Wexford will win the race, but you know, you never know in this tier. So M-Racer will say he comes home in P2, Suzu Smoky P3, PSR Boots down in P4, Suzu Finn in P5, Scyther P6, SCV Legends in P7, Rev Caterpillar in P8, Fingerboy in P9, Suzu Piccolo in P10, FRT Venom in P11, TTM Lurch in P12, and ERN Maxi G in P13, Suzu Sam in P14, PSR Fair in P15, VSR Fresh P16, FRT Akos in P17, FRA Silas in P18, and to round out your grid, it's Suzu Nautics in P19.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the championship fight, I'm shocked. I mean, look at Boots, he's finished 4th, well, effectively 4th, and Cypher's got 6th. You know, he spun, didn't he, Cypher? And Boots, you know, he had an awful lap 1. I mean, I don't know how Boots is gaining points on Cypher, to be honest. I mean, that's a miraculous comeback for him. I mean, fair play, but yeah, I mean, it shows how crazy the race was.
Yeah, definitely, and as well that though, just kind of brings M-Racer back into play now. We'll just say he got 18 points, and it just puts him in a really good position and to start to mount a bit of a title charge. He will now go ahead of Scyther, and he now starts the gate on PSR Boots. So yeah, M-Racer now looking in a really strong position. He's been really comfortable over the last few weeks at the front of the grids, and yeah, he's looking in a pretty good position to go and challenge Boots for this title. But we're not doing any podium interviews tonight, folks, unfortunately, so that is all we've got here for you tonight in WR Tier 2. Thank you very much to WR Connor for stepping in. It was a pleasure to have him in the commentary box. And yeah, what a race it was tonight here in Albert Park. We'll see you next week for the Portuguese Grand Prix. It will be Dark Killer and myself back to normal duties next week, so we'll see you then. Good night.
Good night.